let's have a look at this. The next instalment will complete Cassian's epic journey. Warning, this article contains spoilers for Andor Season 1. And there's Mon Mothma. The lovely Genevieve O'Reilly. Star Wars fans have hailed Andor as one of the franchise's best series, and lucky for all of us, it's coming back for Season 2. The finale of the epic series saw Cassian Andor, Diego Luna, return to Ferrix for his mother's funeral, only to find himself in the middle of a fierce battle between the local population and the oppressive Empire. I've actually forgotten. How it ended. Although we might not get to see it for a while yet, Season 2 will have plenty of questions to answer after the first season saw Andor evolve into the devout rebel operative we first met in Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. We're set to see all the key moments leading up to Andor's heroic sacrifice on the planet Scarif during a mission to retrieve the Death Star plans. I think they should have somebody beaming him out just before the blast hits. Because in A New Hope, Luke mentions teleporters, doesn't he? So is a teleporter a thing in Star Wars? Because Luke says, unless you can teleport me off this rock. So is that a thing? Or were they just, doing a bit of science fiction within science fiction? Anyway, while specific plot details are thin on the ground, Luna has confirmed that Season 2 will lead into Rogue One in a huge way. This next season ends with the beginning of Rogue One, and we all know what happens then, he told Deadline. See, I think it was originally supposed to be 5 seasons, wasn't it? Each with a year heading towards Rogue One. But now they've just put it down to 2. Because nobody watched Season 1. Even though it was really good. We're working really hard with the same amount of rigour and energy and passion, and it's lovely to be hearing so much love about the show from audiences, because that keeps us fighting to do an even better second season. Read on for all your essential information on Andor Season 2 on Disney+, including all the cast set to return, where the journey will take us next. Right, let's have a look. Disney Plus is yet to announce a release date for Andor Season 2, but it's safe to say that it won't be anytime soon. When the first season launched, showrunner Tony Gilroy said he expects to be working on the show for another 2 years, suggesting that the follow-up may not land until autumn 2024. We start shooting in November on Part 2. Our past pattern was 2 years. We'll shoot from November to August, and then our post-production last time was about a year, he explained to The Wrap. 10 episodes in 2. I've said it, I keep saying it. You remember the time when we used to get like 24 episode seasons of shows, like 24, Supernatural, Star Trek and all them, every year. Now we get 10 episodes every 2 years. Oh, yes, but, it's movie quality. Shut up. Most of the Andor cast is expected to return, apart from the dead ones, for the second season in some capacity, which will be led once more by Diego Luna in the titular role. Based on the recent finale, it seems that Stellan Skarsgård, as Princess come, it's come cold in here all of a sudden. Yes, she has. Opening the doors. That cat. Based on the recent finale, it seems that Stellan Skarsgård will continue to be a key player in Season 2 as rebel spy Luthen Rael, along with his longtime associates Vel, Faye Marcy and Cinta Verada Sethu. The climactic episode also saw 3 of Andor's friends escape the Empire's attack on Ferrix: Bix Colleen, Adria Arjona, Brasso, Joplin Sibtane, and adorable droid B2 Emo. With the fugitive, they escaped on the ship, didn't they? With the fugitive promising that he'll reunite with them one day. A great hero needs a great villain to face off with, and Cassian has 2, with Kyle Sollers' Cyril Khan and Denise Goff's Dedra Miro seeming likely to combine their dastardly plans in the second season. And I think she's going to break his heart. I think, and they're both baddies, but I think she's going to break his heart, and his revenge on her is going to let Cassian escape or, do whatever needs to be done. Not because he turns good, but because he just wants revenge on Dedra. That's what I think. Meanwhile, on Coruscant, battle politician Mon Mothma, played by Genevieve O'Reilly, will continue organising the rebellion as her personal life completely unravels. Tony Gilroy has also hinted that Andy Serkis could return as Empire prisoner Kino Loy, although this is still to be confirmed. Well, I hope so, because we saw him, didn't we, when they were escaping from the prison, to jump into the sea, and he said, I can't swim, and we saw the other prisoners going past him, but we didn't see him jump into the sea. So maybe he did, and maybe somebody helped him. As fans expected, the first season of Andor had a quite high body count, killing off Marva, Fiona Shaw, Nemik, Alex Lawther, and Skeen, Ebon, Moss, Bakrak. Sorry. All of whom are unlikely to reappear, except perhaps in flashback. What could happen in Andor Season 2? Plot theories. Right, Tony Gilroy has teased what's coming down the line for Andor in several interviews, including a conversation with Rolling Stone, where he promised things will be very different when the show returns. The first year is really about him becoming, and the last line of this tranche of 12 episodes will sum up where we've been trying to get to, and we come back a year later, it'll be very different, he began. The next 4 years of story are not about becoming a revolutionary, they're about learning to be a leader. Well, he becomes a captain, doesn't he? He becomes Captain Andor. And how difficult it is to put the alliance together, and what happens to people who are the original gangsters versus the establishment, and a lot of different other issues. Andor Season 2 will have a new narrative structure, skipping forward 1 year for every 3 episodes, but Gilroy has promised that the show won't feel any less detailed. Hopefully it'll be a bit more exciting, because Season 1 it wasn't exactly action-packed, was it? It was like every 3 episodes, you had an exciting third episode, but it was a bit of a slog up to them, wasn't it? So they'll probably do something similar. What becomes interesting is now we can play the negative space. When you jump a year, what happened in between? You know the people, you know what their trajectory was. It's energising. He continued while speaking to Rolling Stone. And there's Cinta and Vel. People grow up and people get tired and people betray each other and people change their minds and people get weak and people get crazy. Gilroy has also said that Andor Season 2 will tie in more directly with the main Star Wars saga as it begins hurtling towards the events of A New Hope at light speed, with the rebel base on Yavin 4 set to be a key location in the story. The showrunner let that detail slip while discussing a new addition to the writing team with Collider. Tom Bissell, that curry. Tom Bissell is a really cool and really, really interesting, versatile, really good writer, he said, but also a very, very, very big Star Wars fan, which we really wanted to make sure we had another pro because we're going into Rogue One. That's surprising, because very often in these writing rooms, they don't want fans of the franchise that you're working on, for some reason. I think it's because they don't want like a fan to be writing, to be bogged down by the lore and stuff like that. But anyway, we're going to Yavin, and then we're going into places where we eventually need to really weave our way back to the source. Is there an Andor trailer? No, blah 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 blah. Right, that's it then. So, not really new news, really. Where's that? Go away. But yeah, that's interesting. I look forward to Season 2, but like I said, it'll be a while off, because they just take the time, don't they, these days? They just take their time. See, they don't take the time with the writing in a lot of things. I think it's all the post-production that takes the time, isn't it? And all these poor, overworked effects artists who are going to form a union, aren't there, apparently? There's ructions in the Hollywood special effects departments. Right, we'll leave that there. I'll put the link for that in the description.